Hi, I'm Nick Kelly, and I'm with Arizona State's starting quarterback and captain of the football team, Mike Bercovici. Hi, Mike. How you doing?
Doing great, doing great.
All right, I'm going to ask you some leadership questions today pertaining to the Arizona State Sun Devils football team. For increased urgency on this football team, within the Sun Devil football team, do you observe more energy and effort being directed towards meeting the objective of the change effort? So Coach Graham's way of thinking and living life?
Absolutely. I think that from the second that he stepped foot here, it's really important for him to get the message across from freshmen to seniors. And it's really important to the leadership of this football team to kind of get the message from coach to players. And it's the senior leadership's job to incorporate that message throughout the entire team. So there is an extreme urgency to getting that point across, because the faster your team understands the leadership and perspective of what the coach wants, the faster it's going to turn into wins.
Speaking of leadership and guiding the team, do you think within the Sun Devil football group, does the group guiding the change, so all the seniors and you, especially being the captain, do you think you motivate and inspire others to participate in the change? Like, how do you do that?
Absolutely. I think that the biggest thing that coach talks about leadership, he talks about action, so that it's really important that what you say matches with what you do. Mm-hmm. But some of the things that we do is whenever we're not in season or in the off season, we try to build relationships. So we'll get a group of the seniors together to meet with the juniors, for the juniors to meet with the sophomores, and so on and so on. And basically those relationships build leadership amongst the entire football team, training not only the mind, the hearts, but really leadership is more than just playing football.
What is the vision that you are trying to put forward on this football team?
So, as a captain, I've learned a lot from Coach Graham, and what Coach Graham talks about is he talks about 4 pillars. He talks about character, smart, discipline, and toughness. And those are things that are on the field, off the field, in the classroom, and these are all leadership pillars that can relate to everything in your life. So it's really important to paint that picture from the second he stepped foot here in 2012 until now, 2015. He's been painting the same picture in our heads, and it's almost brainwashed, but really it's vital to a football team to understand that every player that walks across that white line is embodies those pillars.
How do you, as a leader on this team, a captain on this team, provide communication and provide the knowledge of those 4 pillars to make people change their minds and their attitudes about how this game at ASU is supposed to be played?
Right, absolutely. I think it's completely different, the mindset of a 22-year-old versus a 17-year-old who just got here. So it's really important, like we talked about before, to build those relationships. And it's not just on the football field. So whether it be a senior taking a freshman who doesn't understand the pillars, doesn't understand the vision of the program, whether it be sitting down with them in the dining hall, eating dinner with them. It could be, walking to class with one of your buddies and just talking about the program, because a 17-year-old mind doesn't understand why coaches are yelling at you, why you have to do homework on time. Those are all things that it takes leadership to train these younger guys.
So you're always with them, all making sure that you guys are getting the best relationship built possible in order to be a great team.
Absolutely. Yeah.
What are the new ideas that made this program better than the last one?
We've had a leadership group created. We've also had an influential group created. And those are kind of the 2 different levels of really leadership, where there's the true captains of the football team, and there's people who are not yet leaders but are extremely influential to the football team that Coach Graham has kind of proposed to this organization. And we've seen the growth on the football field.
What are some of the things that you guys, as a leadership group, focus on, and just to get this team as one brotherhood?
I think some of the things that we talk about are problems, or maybe specifically like kids on the team that are creating problems, whether it be backlash of not buying into the mindset of the 4 pillars, or problems within player and player. And these are things that we collectively use to we talk about with one another and basically solve problems. And it could be on-field problems or off-field problems.
With all this new leadership that you've been through with this past 3 to 4 years, with Coach Graham coming in here and new staff and everything. How is he making this change stick? How is he making people buy in to ASU football and making sure that they're leaders on and off the field, and not just doing the same old things that didn't bring any success from before Coach Graham got here?
Yeah, well, one of the things that we do is we do talk about the past. We talk about the perception of what a Sun Devil football player was before Coach Graham came here in 2011. And it hurts to really think about what that perception is. And what he has done is kind of use that as motivation to help us become what we are now. So since the second he's came here, one of the great things about him as a leader is that what he says, he does. If he says that he's going to make sure that our football team is a 3.0 academic team, he's gonna find efforts to do that. Exactly. If he wants us to be a championship caliber team, he's going to make efforts like we did in 2013 to get to that level. So we use the past to motivate us, but at the same time using these new proposals that he has every year, and players are buying in.
Like, how do you, as the leader and captain of this football team, make a younger guy buy in? Do you use it by building a relationship, you said, and making sure you're accountable, and just basically being a role model for him, right? You're living that lifestyle that you want them to live.
Exactly. I think the greatest buy-in happens when adversity happens. So if there's a player on our football team and they're in a time of need where they're upset with their situation, they have a problem going on back at home, I think those are the opportunities that as a leader you jump on to explain to them what this football team can do for you, and it truly it plants a seed in their heart to know that, hey, when I was a young kid, an older player stepped up, took leadership, and made sure that I was okay. And that's kind of the understanding of the type of brotherhood that we have here, and it goes beyond football, and I think that's where the leadership goes.
I think that's got to do it. Thank you, Bart.
Thanks, Nick.